Okay, welcome back and welcome if it's your first time. So there is a group of men that had been sent of divine feminine to Gangstalker, and a relative of the divine feminine is collaborating with them. A relative who happens to be a mother figure. The thing is, as soon as the men realized what they were doing was not in alignment to the truth they found out about the divine feminine, some of them retreated back and refrained from going on with what they had been commanded to do. So the group fell into two groups. One group still believed the lies said about the divine feminine, and they believed that the divine feminine deserved to be restricted, and the other group that started looking for justice and turned back against the people who ordered them to restrict, were trying to protect the divine feminine this time, looking out for justice. The group that decided to protect the divine feminine were outnumbered by the other group. But still they were a group that had influential powers. They had a power to make things happen. And that was their intention, to drive the other group to calmer waters. They might have seemed to be few, but they have the strength of the giants, and they seem to be very intent to get a closure about the issue regarding the divine feminine. And the gang stalking had been organized by a couple, and it looks like they have Asian descent, like Japanese. And they were using a relative of the divine feminine to get information about the divine feminine in order to manipulate and restrict her moves and keep her stuck. It was like, to restrict her, she had been kept prison in her own house with so many blockages, and she was not allowed to see daylight at all. That kind of an imprisonment is what they were wishing for the divine feminine. However, the couple were facing towers because of what they were doing to the divine feminine. For a long time, probably even years, have been messing around with the divine feminine. Or maybe even almost a whole life. Take what resonates. And they were facing financial loss and health issues, starting with their child, whom they did not take measures well. Whom, if they did not take measures well, they would lose their child. The karmic lady is crying. They're crying for the life of their child, because it feels like the child will die if any measures are not to be taken. But in order to get through, they have to get past through the divine feminine's home, where they had put a lot of blockages. All the blockages have to be uplifted. Some blocks have to be lifted for them to be able to move to calmer waters. But they're not understanding this. They're blinded by their own ambitions. So because of this, they're just stuck crying for their child. And the divine feminine seems to be the key to remove the blockages, and nobody else. And they had to make amends and they needed her compassion and mercy to move forward. They needed her compassion and mercy. The Divine Feminine has how she is. She was always open for anything good, and she didn't mind showing her compassion and mercy even to her enemies. So the Divine Feminine, in order to help the couple to move to calmer waters, has to open the door for them, which had a lot of blockages around it. And it is only through the Divine Feminine's mercy and compassion that the blockages can be removed. Their only chance lied in the hands of the mercy and compassion of the Divine Feminine. I suppose they need to reach out and ask for forgiveness before they moved on, and that meant telling the whole truth about all they had done to this day. Otherwise, they will lose their child. And they're sitting somewhere crying in remorse, feeling helpless and defeated. And the Divine Feminine sees where the blockages were to be removed. But they have to collaborate with her to get the blockages removed for peace to be achieved. And they were just relentlessly trying to avoid that. They don't want to do that because of their pride. But I hope they will do the right thing in order to save their own child. Because no matter how bad a person can be, whoever has a child, one way or the other, they simply must be having a compassion in their being. And definitely people have compassion to their children, whether they mistreat them or not. And I hope they end up solving the issue and apologize and tell the whole truth before anything happens to their child. And that is what I'm guided to give out right now. And I hope it helps somebody, and to know that they have to make some kind of an action in order to be able to solve their problems. So till next time, take care and God bless.